which isn't the case. I mean, you see people, celebrities, for instance, that have unlimited, basically, an unlimited amount of resources and money to use, and those people are not happy.
Well, to be fair, you can buy happiness. It's called methamphetamine.
I'm talking about real happiness, lasting happiness.
You're talking about ecstasy.
I'm
not talking about speed.
I'm not talking about happiness that can be bought in an artificial, chemical-induced happiness that will wear off. I'm talking about...
I mean, I would actually make a case for chocolate here. That is the same chemical you feel when you're in love.
Yeah, but those aren't lasting. That's not lasting happiness. That's a chemical-induced euphoria that wears off.
So you eat more chocolate.
But a case in
not
point,
if you have an IV of liquid chocolate.
A case in point, though, is just the fact that people that have money and people that can buy anything that they wish, those people cannot buy their way to happiness. And consumerism is just this belief that's presented in advertisements, is that you buy this product, it will make your life considerably better, when really all we need to be happy is the essentials. We need the necessities, and then everyone needs a certain amount of distractions, but just this idea that we can buy our way to happiness, I just think is that's what defines consumerism. And
the thing that's really just ass backward about it all, I mean, if you think you need to have a 60-inch high def, if you need to have like a $10,000 home theater, or you need to have a $30,000 car, if happiness has a 5-digit price tag to it, and you're working class and you've got a crappy job, you end up working a second job to pay for that happiness, and you end up spending so much time at work that you don't have time to play with your flashy new toys.
Yeah.
All of this is very good and very valid and very happy and very nice. But I want to get something really quick out of the way, which is something that Jackson was talking about when we were originally talking about this subject in one of our meetings at our coffee shop meetings, which is
every second
Saturday of the month at the coffee house, which is, I don't know where.
13th and P Street.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere.
Next to BW3's.
Under the big sign that says Coffee House.
Under the big sign that says Panache.
Okay.
No, they have a big new flashy sign.
Ooh, fancy.
We were agreed that we weren't going to do advertising. This seems kind of like an advertisement.
Well, we're trying to draw people to us. We're not trying to draw people to drink coffee.
Back room.
I don't think we would be ashamed to plug the coffee house. It seemed like a pretty good establishment.
They have really good drinks that are not coffee, because I've never had it.
the fair trade coffees.
What were you talking
We can stop advertising for the coffee house now.
I want to keep doing it.
Consumerism is bad.
Second
coffee house.
Usually we wouldn't advertise, but this time of year,
Second Saturday of the month, 2:30 p.m.
So I was going to bring up what I think is an interesting idea, that Christmas is the time when it's okay to be a consumer. Now,
well, it's okay. The thing is, it's okay to be a consumer every other time of the year, but I was having a little difficulty explaining what my thought was, and I think I'm just going to ignore it and go on to what I was talking about just a second ago, which is that Jackson informed us all at that meeting of an interesting little historical fact about Christmas consumerism. What is that, Jackson?
Well, I was reading in the Daily Nebraskan, and a few weeks ago now, there had been a Christian girl who wrote a rather propagandistic piece about the war on Christmas, and it was talking about, it wasn't just sort of the secular humanists trying to change the official greeting of Merry Christmas to the more open and ecumenical Happy Holidays, but also it was about how commercialization was destroying the religious roots of the holiday. And in response to it, a mutual acquaintance of ours named Alex Ramos, who was affiliated with us through the Lincoln Secular Humanists, and he's a graduating senior in religious studies, wrote a rebuttal to her that was printed as a letter to the editor, saying that actually, no. I mean, secularists didn't destroy Christmas. Consumerism. I mean, consumerism saved a dying holiday. In Western Europe and in the then colonies of Western Europe that later became independent and became this country. I mean, the Christian impulse. I mean, there was an attack on Christmas within Christianity, especially from Protestant Christianity, who saw the holiday as who basically recognized the pagan roots of the holiday and how the Catholic Church had co-opted those pagan roots and said, there's nothing Christian about this holiday, and sort of the debauchery of it, of course, goes against that Protestant impulse of indulging in anything.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Christianity has an attitude of, if it feels good, stop.
Yeah.
But the Catholics, at least, get to indulge and then confess their sins later. The Protestants, when they lost confession, they lost the ability to have fun.
Yeah, Christmas...
And the Catholics get to whip themselves, which actually kind of makes me want to be a Catholic.
And Christmas wasn't even celebrated. I mean, if you look at most of the people that came over initially to the country, they were not Protestants, but the Puritans.
Who were Protestants.
Yeah, were Protestants.
Fanatical Calvinist Protestants.
And you see that the Christmas holiday wasn't even celebrated in the United States until I think it was around like quarter way into the 19th century, and a lot of that had to do with popularization from Charles Dickens novels.
In other words, it was a matter of secularizing and commercializing the holiday, which rehabilitated it to the Protestant Christianity that had come to reject it.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, a lot of what Christmas is just a lot of borrowed pagan traditions, and the Puritans were vehemently opposed to the Christmas holiday because they saw it as blasphemy, and basically we just have a lot of what am I trying to say? There's just the holiday was basically it actually was outlawed in the United States. It was illegal to celebrate the holiday until 1820, around there.
And again, I think it's important to stress we're talking about people who criticize the consumerism of Christmas based on defending religious beliefs, as in like it's about baby Jesus and those things, and that's what it should be about, and not all of these buying stuff and crap and
there is
things.
There's this sort of there's this sort of religious right reaction that wants to wants to enshrine Christmas, not just try to turn the clock back on this more ecumenical happy holidays, which is taking over in mainline America, trying to roll it back to Merry Christmas, and then also to roll Christmas back,
make it explicitly Christian,
to make it explicitly and exclusively Christian.
Yeah. Of course, rolling it back to something that didn't really exist.
Yeah, if you look at the origin of the holiday, it was Jesus wasn't even born on December 25th. It's just incredibly unlikely. Most scholars and historians recognize that fact.
Well,
it was chosen because that was a way for the Christians to make the holiday fall on the same date of the Saturnalia and then the birth of Mithra, the two popular pagan religions that were around when Christianity was just getting started.
This brings up an interesting point, which is kind of cultural memory when you talk about the origins of Christmas and it being contaminated by secular influences. The whole concept is a cultural memory of something that never really existed.
But that is what we are in particular talking about right at this moment. I mean, we are all secular, and we still criticize Christmas for being ultra consumerist. So it's different things.